Today we are talking to Daniel Alexander, the country manager of Converga.
Hi, I'm Dan Alexander. I'm the country manager up here in the Philippines. I've been with Converga for 8 years now. I started with Converga back in Australia and then 5 years ago moved up here to take over the operations here in the Philippines. So Converga is a traditional outsourcing company. We started in Melbourne about 25 years ago doing mailroom services, so delivering mail to all the different pigeonholes, I guess, in a big commercial building. As technology evolved, we invested quite heavily in digitization, software and hardware. So we've got large, high-speed scanners where we can scan 300 pages per minute. We've got very good OCR technology. So our core business really has been on taking clients on a digitization journey. In the last 5 years, we've now set up our operation here in the Philippines. We're now offering our clients an opportunity, and small, medium-sized clients, an opportunity to set up a virtual team up here in the Philippines. So for us, the ideal size of a client is not so much in terms of headcount. It's more about what is the opportunity and what is the challenge that the client's really trying to solve for. So we've got some clients where they've looked to expand, and instead of expanding their headcount onshore, they've expanded some non-core functions up here, and which has allowed them to focus there. We've got other clients where it's just been a cost reduction exercise, and therefore they've been able to hire people in their accounts payable department, for example, up here in the Philippines, and redeploy people back in Australia. So it really doesn't. For us, it's more around a partnership, and it's what is the client trying to solve for, our customer trying to solve for. And we've got a wide range of different commercial models that we can work with, a different range of software solutions that we can also offer our clients as well. So really it is a total package, and it's about what is the client trying to solve for. Really what we tell our customers is by outsourcing, it gives you the freedom to focus on what you want to focus on. Freedom to focus on growing your business, focus on dealing direct with your customers, having your people, they're onshore, being able to face off directly with the customers, adding more value. So that's really why customers would look to offshore and outsource. Gives that freedom to focus. The opportunities are limited to your own imagination. And when I look at a lot of the functions that we've helped our clients build up here in the Philippines for them, it's amazing. We've employed nurses to do medical insurance claims. We've got graphic designers helping small companies come up with their own, brochures and marketing collateral. So really, the limit is your own imagination. Outsourcing is not just around cost saving. It's also around building a really great virtual team that has maybe a lot more experience than what you could get in Australia in particular areas. It's also about being able to refocus your people in your own business to do more, let's say, higher value adding activities. So it might not be about just reducing cost or just reducing footprint. It might also be about refocusing on your core business and refocusing your people's efforts on the customer. Yeah, we've got lots of experience with small, medium and large size customers. So we've got the big end of town where we've got over 100 people dedicated to that particular client, but we've also got some other clients where we've only got 1 and 2 people working directly for that client, and that's doing anything from accounts payable through to graphic design and marketing collaterals. I think the difference is around partnership, and I think I would really encourage anyone who's looking to offshore or outsource to find a partner that cares about your business just as much as they care about their own. And the beauty of an organisation like us is that we do care. We've got a very hands-on approach. We do a lot of hand-holding. We're in it together, right? So it's in our interest to ensure that your work comes on board and is embedded effectively, because it also impacts our staff and our reputation as well. So I think the key is finding a really good partner. The beauty of Converga is that we've got a presence in Australia and New Zealand, and we have solution architects, we've got BAs, we've got salespeople in each of the countries, in all states, who can sit down with you and work out what is the best approach, what is the right type of model that you're looking for that's going to get the best benefit for you at the same time, the quickest return. So we have a very, very hands-on, collaborative approach to it, and we've got teams here in the Philippines, but also teams in the countries where they can come and sit in your office with you. One of the things that we've found very useful for our clients is by us actually sharing a lot of the intellectual property that we've been able to build over the years, working with the 180 odd other clients that we currently work with. So over that time, we've been able to apply some best practice. We've been able to learn a lot of lessons, and we're very happy to share those lessons learnt with new clients who are on board. And again, as I said earlier, so much of this is a consultative approach. So we really do spend a lot of time upfront designing processes, looking at different systems that we can bring to assist the client in achieving a really successful offshore transition. So that we have got a number of different models that we work with our clients on. So we've got some clients where we have an hourly rate, and basically it's we commit to delivering a certain outcome or certain amount of output per hour. We've got other engagements where it's full dedicated FTE, where the client pays a fixed fee each month, and we build a virtual team for that client. And then we've also got some other instances where it's per transaction. So we work very closely with the client to work out exactly how many widgets, for example, they want per hour, and that's how we then price it with them. People should outsource to the Philippines because it's a wonderful place to do business. The labour pool here is very, very deep, very talented. Very rarely do we really struggle to find the right talent and the right calibre of people. There's a lot of skilled people here, from engineers right through the different IT development stacks, all that sort of thing. You know, we've been able to find here. We've got developers in AWS and Azure and you name it. We've been able to get it. For me, I've been here for 5 years now, and I feel like the Filipinos are just so, they have just such a wonderful service culture ingrained and innate to them. So, you know, for us as Australians or New Zealanders, being able to, you know, leverage that and have access to such a deep talent pool, that's why you should outsource to the Philippines. So 3 common tips I would, and I do always tell people is: 1, find the right partner. Find someone that you want to do business with, someone that will care about your business as much as you do. Secondly is do not base your decisions on cost, because you know, there's a lot of cheaper organisations out there that might not have the scale or the IP that they can then share with you. And third would be around what is the physical environment that your staff are going to be working in, because here in the Philippines, you know, certainly for us, we've tried to create the workplace as an extension of family, and that's helped us get best-in-class retention rates for our staff. So we've got less than 10% rolling attrition across our company. And so for us, a lot of that comes down to what is the type of leadership culture, the type of people culture, and the type of work environment that the staff are working in. So they're the 3 top key hints I would give organisations when considering to outsource. So in order to shop around, I mean, there's wonderful organisations like Outsource Accelerator that help to compare and benchmark, you know, what the market is offering and who the different players are, because there's certain sweet spots for each player, and I think the market's certainly big enough for a lot of us. So I think using an organisation like Outsource Accelerator would certainly help. Actually investing and coming up here and looking for yourself, I cannot stress how valuable that is, because it really does open your eyes to what's possible. And when you can come up here and you can experience being immersed in an organisation like ours, where you can sit next to the staff, you can eat in the lunchroom with them, you can really, you know, you can sit in on interviews, you very quickly build a lot of confidence. And I think it'll also give you a great degree of comfort that, you know, the Philippines is the right place and your partner is the right partner for you as well. So people do often ask about security and safety here in the Philippines. I mean, where our operations are, we're very much in a very secure bubble almost. Yes, there are issues, and unfortunately, you know, those issues are real, but they are a very long way down south, and there's not been any instances, certainly to my recollection, where any of those issues down south have impacted our business operations. So from a safety and a security point of view, we've not seen any effect or impact. So people usually onboard through us. We've got a very robust transition methodology and onboarding methodology, we've got people who go and sit with you in your business in Australia or New Zealand. We can help you process undocumented processes. We can help you with work instructions. There's no problem with that. We've got BAs and solution architects who can help. In Australia and here in the Philippines, we've got project managers, transition managers, program managers, depending on the size of the work to be offshored, where we really do provide a lot of hand-holding and very, very close project management, essentially. So we've got multiple transitions that we have in flight at any one time, but we've got the right processes and frameworks, I guess, in place to ensure that we can land each one really successfully. In terms of ensuring that your staff are the right staff for the job, that they're productive, that they've got a really great day one experience, that's where we work with you, right? So it comes down to a collaborative approach to recruitment. It comes down to you being a part and having the final say on whether that person, that we're putting forward for your hire is someone that you want working for your business. But it's also about us planning out with you a proper glide path for your new starters as well, to ensure that while they might not be meeting the full competency requirements that is required day one, that within a 3-month period, and that's usually what we'd say is 3 months to get to that competency, is being achieved through a very robust transition methodology that we've got. All of our staff up here have scorecards, so we know and we can track and we can provide real-time coaching to those staff who maybe are not meeting expectations. Then we come up with corrective action plans to ensure that they are meeting expectations. And if they're not, and some people they just don't, we're very quickly able to rectify that for the client to ensure that again that their business doesn't slow down as a result of a bad hire or an unfortunate hire. Low-hanging fruit that we've seen been really successfully transitioned over is those functions that are really easily repeatable. So it's things like ARAP. There's some customer service, some client onboarding, customer onboarding type functions that are really just easy. And we've done a number of times before. And again, we can help with work instructions and best practice. So they're the sort of things that if you're looking in your own business, what are the things that are being done day in, day out that has a rhythm, or has a routine, and that can quite easily be documented and then shipped offshore? We've got a number of clients that have outsourced with us with 1 or 2 staff, and again, as we've been able to build our capability, and a lot of our capability has been built off the back of other client requirements. So we've now got people who are doing data analytics and creating data insights that we're now able to offer our other clients, who can then look into their own databases, their own customer demographics, and offer different things to their customers that they weren't able to do before offshoring with us. We've got other great success stories where we've been able to employ some really effective team members for these particular clients that have allowed them to grow into other markets. So for one particular New Zealand company, we employed nurses to do claims processing, and by being able to trim out 70% worth of labour cost in New Zealand by creating a team of nurses up here, they were able to then break into the Australian market and start selling in Australia. And we quite often get questions around ethical standards, and people sort of quite often have this image in their mind that the Philippines is, that we've got sweatshops, which is so far from the truth. It's crazy. For us, we are ISO 9001 accredited, so for quality. In terms of information security, we're ISO 27001 certified. We're embarking on our 14001, which is all around the environmental sustainability standards. And in terms of being ethical, we're also aligned to the United Nations Global Compact 10 Principles, which is all around ensuring there's no child labour in our supply chain, for example, that all of our staff are paid above the minimum standards, that their workspace is at a very high standard. So in terms of the ethical questions we get, the combination of ISO accreditations, the Global Compact alignment, and also the Australian leadership. So we've got some Australian management here who are used to what Australian management standards are, and we bring that to our operations here in the Philippines. People are definitely not working in tin sheds with little fans going around here. So we've got seriously world-class facilities. We've got our buildings are what we call PESA accredited or PESA standard buildings, which is ensuring really that the workspace is conducive to a healthy environment. So we've got very big workstations. All of our staff have phones and dual screens. We've got a number of meeting rooms. We've got clinics as well, medical clinics for our staff who aren't feeling too well. We've got employee lounges where they can go and relax and read a book if that's what they need to do on their break. We've got cafeterias. In terms of facilities, we're just like you would get back in Australia or New Zealand. So key benefits of outsourcing would be one that you can focus on your core business. So creating a team up here to take away a lot of that low-hanging fruit, that repetitive work, that non-real value-adding work to your business, non-core. By sending it up here, it allows you to focus on your core. The other would be around cost, and I mean, let's face it, there are cost efficiencies to be gained by creating a team up here. Outsourcing usually has a number of different pricing structures. The way we've sort of got three key structures that we work to. One is a transactional structure, where it might be that we process a certain amount of documents for you per month or per week or per day, whatever it is, and that we've worked that into a transactional rate, so we know exactly how long it takes us to process each document, and then we can just charge you based on that document. There's other structures whereby it might be an hourly rate, and there might be a commitment to completing a certain amount of tasks during that hour or a certain output within that hour. And typically, that might be in the creative space. So we might charge, we do charge an hourly rate for the creative services of our team, who will work on other clients as well. And then thirdly, it's a full dedicated staff rate. So each month you'll pay one fixed fee per employee that you have working on your account, and that fixed fee includes everything from the facilities and the computer and the hardware right through to all of the labour and the payroll costs as well. So typically what goes into an outsourcing cost structure are three things. One is all of the payroll related or the employee related costs, and that's everything from all of the health insurances that we need to provide our staff to the basic salary to any other insurances. Then you've also got the facilities costs, which is access to all the meeting rooms, it's the floor space, it's the rent, it's the hardware for the computers and the meeting rooms and that sort of thing. And then the third element that makes up the cost is the management fee. So quite often, companies like ours, for example, will apply a management fee that overlays our operational excellence programs, for example, and a lot of our training and development that we put our staff and our people leaders through. So they're the three key elements that make up a usual standard outsourcing model. Yes, I think that it's really important to note that Converga is part of a much bigger group. So we're owned by Canon. We've got the power of Harbour IT, who are also part of the family. And for us, it's really about a very close partnership with our clients and taking them on that journey, whether it be a full digitisation journey or whether it be a journey around offshoring and building a virtual team up here in the Philippines. So for us, over the last 25 years in operations, we've made a lot of mistakes. We've built a lot of IP and a lot of processes and documentation that we're only too happy to share with our clients when we do take them on that journey. In terms of facilities, we've got 4 different office locations. So we've got one in Makati, which is primarily our transaction processing centre. We've got this site here, which is in Bonifacio Global City, which is essentially our headquarters. We've got a site in a place called Ortigas, which is our IT operations. And then we've also got another site up in Angeles City, which is really a multi-purpose site, and it's our business continuity site. So that and we've got it set up in a way that if anything does happen to any of our other 3 sites here in Metro Manila, we can automatically fail over and continue operations in that centre up in Angeles City. In this building in Bonifacio Global City, we've got 4 floors here. We've got a range of different functions. So we've got some IT functions done out of here. We've got quite a lot of finance functions. So we do everything from very basic journal entries right through to the month-end closing and reporting. We've also got in this site our country operations team. So this is where we do a lot of our recruitment. A lot of our onboarding all happens here of new employees. And then upstairs we've got a number of collections teams, we've got our creative teams, we've got HR teams here who are doing HR and recruitment for clients in Australia. So we're doing everything from posting jobs on seek.com to doing the first level interviews and job screening, applicant screening. And we've also got some commercial teams here as well. So they're doing a lot of commercial analysis and reporting back into our clients in Australia.